Welcome back to GMT's Holland 44 Operation Market Garden short game playthrough. We're on turn 11 of 11 for the short game. This is the last turn. It is the night of September the 20th, and well, playthrough is probably a very apt term because we really just need to play through this turn. The Allies are absolutely nowhere near their objective, which is to get non-airborne units beyond this river here, and as you can see, they're not even on the screen right now. They're another river and a canal away from reaching that point, and there are German units in the way anyway. But we'll play through the turn just to complete everything, and then I'll do one of my reviews afterwards, just to go through the experience. So just looking here at 82nd and the 1st Airborne, and just including everything we've got here. So the 1st Airborne perimeter is pretty good, especially around the bridge. We're on the third night, fourth night actually, of the battle, and very well ensconced around the bridge. Good protection. The landing zone perimeters here has collapsed and fractured, but that's secondary to control of the bridge, and that bit is probably the best news on the board for the Allies, really. On looking at the 82nd here, camera over slightly, we've lost the Grossbeck Heights, and being pushed back towards Nijmegen, and we still don't have the bridge here. Better news up by Grave, we still have the bridge and it's open, but yeah, nothing else to say positive about the 82nd. They're still reasonably intact as a force, but they're out of supply, and yeah, they're just surviving the blows of the 406th Division and the other elements down here, some of which are quite tough now. Okay, and just look up at where the 101st and 30 Corps are. Here we have the view of that, and as you see, we've got a line roughly up to the canals here, and no further, I'm afraid. So we do have some bridging unit up here working on the bridge. However, it's too little too late. We have some German excursions up in the north here, and some small remnants around here, but the Germans have kind of done their job really, and yeah, there's no way through quickly for 30 Corps. Right, so for the turn, we've got the artillery resupply phase for the Allies, which would be the 11th Armoured and the Guards Armoured artillery units, and during the bridge phase we can start to rebuild in a slightly depressing manner the Vagel Bridge. Just reviewing some of these bridges back here, they should be start to be rebuilt. Certainly I might have missed a couple of turns on this. They've not been particularly relevant, certainly, but these can be rebuilt, and I think we can't quite get the best bridge open here, or the best road bridge anyway, open. So that's the bridge phase. The landing phase is nothing because it's night, of course, and then we're down to the last movement phase for the Allies. So I'll get on and do that, and then we will review as usual. So movement is done, and not a lot to report on this area of the board. No movement in Arnhem really. I don't think I can get it in any better shape than it currently is. In the 82nd area, we've shifted back up into the forest and moved the glider troops that landed in the PM into the city. So just reinforcing a perimeter really. That's all we're doing there. Over with the 30 Corps and 101st, there's quite a lot of work there. Let's have a look at that. Over with, that looks like we've surrounded the 107 Panzer Brigade units there. Wasn't able to extricate them, so we'll be looking at attacks on the 101st for that. Some attacks up here around Skydal, just to push the perimeter back, and the attempt to clear this area here by 11th Armoured is where we've got our attacks. So we can go through those one by one. So it just adjusted there. The Household Cavalry recon unit have moved down the road here on a tactical movement just to cut off the retreat here of the units. Let's just do this one first. We have 6 in defence, and the lead formation is of course the 11th Armoured. So we have 5, 10, 16, 18 with the Household Cavalry, and then over the canal we have some tank units. So that's 29 halved. So that's 14 and 16, 30, 36. That's a 5-1, and we will add in the artillery for a 6-1. No tank shifts because all the tanks are across the canal. So 6-1. We have a 5, which is a DS. So a unit is lost with a step loss. I think we should really do a desperation defence here. The unit can't get away from Zox, so it'll do a determined defence first up. So it's on the clear polder table, needing a 5 or a 6 really. Has a 3 which fails, so essentially that unit is removed as well, as it would have to take a step loss to get another roll preventing retreat, or if it retreated it would take a step loss. So that combat is done. As far as advances go, I think we can that's the outer supply marker for the German units. We could certainly well, we could. It's a DS, so there is a breakthrough combat possible. I'm not sure there's any real need to try and attack across the bridge there. I think we'll that'll be the advance there. So that bridging unit was there, and the second here. So this is a defence of 7, and we're attacking with 11 there. That's the air supply for the defenders. 11, 18, and these guys are halved. That's another 4, so 22. 2, 7 is 3-1. Actually, this unit is halved, the tank unit, because of the tank strength there. So it will be a 2-to-1 actually, a 2-to-1, and no shifts on that. A 1 and 2-to-1 is an A1 engaged. So not a good result for the Allies. Live to fight again. There's the and we'll lose a step from the lead formation. And okay, that's those two combats done. If we realign for the two up here. Get that centered. Right, so here we have again a 101st attack. That's halved across the minor river, so that's 3, 6, and 8 for the attached unit. So it's 14 to 6, and the majority of the points. So we have elite, and we also have untried here. So that was 2-to-1 going up to 4-to-1. So a 4-to-1 attack. A 3 gives us a DR. Not sure there's any point in particularly in not retreating. So we'll move back to there with a disruption. And we'll get an advance here. And we will advance the 101st, I think. Actually, possibly not. Combination, I think, there. So we'll keep the Zopbon going. This tank unit, I think, will end up moving back towards the road. And finally, here we have surprisingly an unknown unit here, which is a 1 in defence. So we have 3 and 3, that's 6 in defence doubled for the town. So it's 12. 12, and we have 7 and 11. So that's 18. That's then 1-to-1. 1-to-1 with the tank. The tank bonus is 2-to-1, and then we will put in the 82nd. Sorry, the 30 core guards armoured artillery. So it's a 3-to-1. 3-to-1 on a 1 is just an engage, so not much happened there, even with the tank support. Okay, yeah, so that's the combat phase. We have a recovery phase for the Allies, which I don't think really affects anything, to be honest. No. So down to supply phase. Supply as is, really. Everything's in supply on this side of the canal, and even here there's supply coming back over the canal, and I think that's it for supply. Airborne units as before. So on to the German turn of the last turn. So over to the German turn. It's the artillery resupply phase. Got a reasonable picture of the remaining area of the battle here. So with artillery supply for night, all the German artillery units are able to be flipped over, so that's quite a few here. Certainly down here, and here in the 101st sector, the 2 artillery units there, and just adjusting, can't quite fit everything in yet. We have the 406 unit here, the 10th SS unit here, and the Arco unit here. So it's a lot of artillery to turn over. So beyond that, we have a bridge phase. I think there should be an attempt to blow this bridge over the canal. We'll do that. With a 2, that's actually a failure. So that is an intact bridge, which had the possibility of causing some problems here for the Germans should the game carry on. We have an intact bridge across the canal finally. Too little too late, of course. I think elsewhere we're okay on the bridges, and then we're down to the movement phase, and I'll get all that moved, and then we'll get on with the combat. Okay, movement done. Not a lot to shout about over by the canal front here. Just protecting the bridges, and in the north, again pulling back to save some steps here. There's no real point in attacking or attempting to attack when there's the best part of 3 or 4 divisions in this area, 2 of them armoured, with just infantry. I think the game gone on, a lot of these units, the British ones, would be flowing off down the road, and then there would be ample possibilities to attack. And so no attacks, not much movement, just plugging gaps and making sure there's no holes really. So looking over at the other area. So here not much movement, but we'll try that attack again with the 406 area, and a little bit of shuffling here just to get decent odds attacks on these 2. We're going to do one more attack actually, which would be up there. I just noticed actually I haven't actually put on the Allied reinforcements down the road, but I'm not sure there's an amazing point in doing that for this game. Anyway, back to where we were. Let's have a look at the combat. So here in the forest we have a defence of 6 against 8 and 9, 17, and that's it. 17 to 6, so that is 2 to 1, and we have the artillery here. Make it 3 to 1. So 3 to 1. 3 to 1 of 5. We have an A1, D1. Okay, so that's a loss on either side. 82nd getting a little short of their remnant. In fact, they've run out of their remnant markers, so we'd lose one of these, we'd lose the entire unit, so we have to lose the remnant. Bad news there. A1 and an A1, which we could push onto that unit, say, and so an A1 D1 includes a retreat So we will do a determined defence here. We'll use the artillery here because why not? In the roll. So we have a +2 to the roll for the artillery and the elite unit. On the other table for terrain, we get a 1. With a +2 gets us to a 3, which is not quite enough to get the defence working. So we can send this unit back into Nijmegen, disrupted, and there is a normal advance. So I think we will advance like that. Right, over in Arnhem, here we have a defence of 10 with the paratroop unit, and for attack we have 5 and 5, so that's 1 to 1, but we do have a tank shift for 2 to 1, and we also have the artillery for 3 to 1. A 2 and 3 to 1 is an exchange, so on the Allied side it's pretty obvious, there's no real choice about the loss. And then I think the tank unit will go on the German side, and that's a shift that's not coming back. So it's a fairly good result for the Allies on that exchange. And here we have 7 defence, I believe, 7, which is 14 in the city, and the attack is 7 and 6, 13. I don't think we'll use that armoured unit. It's not going to add anything, so it's 21 to 14, so that is a 1 to 1. And but we also have the artillery bonus, so that's a 2 to 1. A 6 on 2 to 1 is a D1, so we do have a loss here. So we'll flip the glider infantry here, and then a determined defence certainly on the D1. So we're on the city, and we have a +1, and we might as well, the artillery, have a +2 on the dice. 4 going to a 6 in the city. A 6 is a cancellation retreat with no losses on either side, so that is the upshot of that attack. So again, some attrition in Arnhem, but nothing particularly decisive happening there. And with that combat phase, we're back to the oh, hang on, sorry, I've forgotten the combat here, which I think we were just about ready to try the combat. So it's defense of 4. We have an attack of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that is a 2 to 1, and that's just a straight 2 to 1 with the woods. 2 to 1 with a 2 is engaged. So not much happening there, but this is security infantry. Yeah, I think that'll just drone on that kind of combat there. So, sorry, back to recovery phase. So there is a disrupted marker to be removed near the 101st for a couple of units there, and some engaged markers as well. Nothing too major. And yeah, that's down to the supply phase, and we've marked units by the 101st. That's the Panzer Brigade units, which are trapped. They're out of supply, and that's the only ones really. Everything else is in supply. And finally, our traffic marker phase. due to the slowness of 30 core. Traffic markers have been fairly unremarkable or unused almost, not as useful as they usually are in the last few turns. We have 2 to put on here, and I think possibly getting another marker up here, and then possibly one here, I think would be the best places. And we'll roll to see the removal, and the removal is 2 and 5. Well, 5 is over here. It's probably a good one to lose, and number 2 is the one we just placed up here. So I think that's the second time that one's gone in successive turns, and that's really the game. So we're left in this final position of the canal being the demarcation line, and we got no rescue there, and the Allies well behind their schedule, and it's a German win. There's no particular degree of victory, it's just a German victory and an Allied loss. So anyway, well, thanks for getting this far with the replay. A myriad of errors streamed through the game as usual, but we got through to the end, and very enjoyable game. Hope you guys enjoyed it watching, and I will create a review video as well for the end, and get that out as well. But for all intents and purposes, this is the end of the game, and the end of the video replay sequence. Just might just reposition the camera to get a kind of total view of where everything is. There, that's better. So yeah, you see a really long way to go for the Allies to get right over to Arnhem. The one big success I think for the Allies is Arnhem itself. Everything else, 101st I think did fairly well, but the 82nd suffering badly, and the 30 Corps just not getting through anything like the time required. Still, again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you again on the review video. Bye for now.